I would say people always getting overexcited for something new, always, whether it's new technology or any new leaks. Someone acting weird on the internet, Instagram, and Facebook platforms, all I see is some fucking dumbass influencers trying to promote big brand, useless stuffs, Oregon straight-out scamming products on their respected platforms. But anyway, we are not going to talk about them here. Because if you people are going to buy these products, then there is no saving you from this mess. Then again, let that flow for 10 seconds to at least make some sense to the people who are buying these garbages. So, let's just not go out of the context here. This channel is dedicated to make gaming stuff only. Okay, with that out of the way, I want to shout out and say thanks to Mr. DLIS1RP for suggesting me to make this video in the first place. And I hope I did a good job at it, which I don't know. And I hope I pronounced their name properly here. If not, then I apologize for that. I also want to point out, I don't have any inside info about the dying light, the beast itself. But anyway, let's move on to the topic. Today, I'm here to talk about on such stuff, and also give my opinion on what I think about Dying Light series and about the new upcoming Dying Light, the Beast game, which rumors to be in DLC Part 2 for the Dying Light 2 Stay Human sequel. I'm going to spoil the video here because, honestly, there's not much to talk about the game here, as we can expect it to be released on September or on November month, is what I think they'll be releasing this game, since we don't know about it anyway. Expect less campaign hours, which will offer around 15 to 20 hours story campaign, as this including all the other side quests. I don't think this is Dying Light 2 direct sequel. This is a prequel between the first and the second game. So, moving on from that, in a world overrun by chaos, survival isn't just about staying alive. It's about holding on to what makes us human. Dying Light isn't just another zombie game. It's a story about desperation, sacrifice, and the weight of choices in a world falling apart. Across 2 games, Techland crafted an experience that blends fluid, parkour, brutal combat, and a haunting atmosphere. But beneath the surface, there's more going on. In this video, I'm going to break down the narrative arcs, the world building, the evolution of gameplay, and what the Dying Light series really says about humanity when everything else is gone. Whether you're a longtime fan or stepping into the world of Heron Village and Vildor City for the first time, this is the story, the impact, and the legacy of Dying Light 1 and Dying Light 2 and the upcoming Dying Light, the Beast series. After years of anticipation, the sequel to Dying Light 2 is on the horizon. But what can we expect? Is it a return to the gritty realism of the first game, or again does it push the boundaries further? Let's dive into the latest insights, leaks, and what the community is buzzing about. If the leaks are true, this is probably about the new DL2 Stay Human DLC, which is focused around Kyle Cranepart after the following DLC ending with him, and what happened to him after that. It's been almost 6 months since the last trailer, and it was also the last time we heard major news on the state of the game. I take this as a good omen, and a signal that Techland learned from DL2, since during its development, they did set a roadmap to what we can expect from the upcoming updates, but did a lot of overpromising and misleading advertising. Now it seems they went the opposite route. I think Kyle Crane is the main reason everyone loved the first game, because we having the story continue here. Probably how Techland creates the story surrounding this will be questionable. Unfortunately, DL2 Stay Human is still one of the most disappointing sequels we ever got. They've clearly lost all direction and just aim to make video games for the sake of profiting off the success of the first game. Is anyone else skeptical about Dying Light, the Beast because of Dying Light 2 Stay Human? Please let me know in the comments below about the skepticism about and why this game can change the fate of the series continuation. Or will this be the last Dying Light we can expect from this? The Beast started as a DLC for Dying Light 2 Stay Human, so I'm sure we can expect a similar gameplay. I just hope they go back to a more traditional skill tree, like in the original, and simplify some of the mechanics. Hopefully, they learned from their mistakes with DL2, but we'll see. Now, coming back to the main topic. We already got a glimpse of how this game looks like in the cinematic trailers. With that, some of the big YouTube influencers got invited, had somewhat insight of Techland's HQ, and watch a 40-minute demo of the upcoming game, Dying Light, The Beast. This game takes place in Castor Woods, which was inhabited by humans. But after the outbreak, it turned into a zombie homeland, which is cycle through day and night time in between. And we also got the man behind the experiments called Baron Brilliant Scientist, who done countless experiments on Kyle Crane and with the infected. Baron is from a wealthy background, was a brilliant scientist, and with dangerously ambitious. After studying abroad in the US, he returned to his homeland, Castor Woods, to take control of his family's powerful pharmaceutical empire. But in a world crumbling around him, the Baron stands apart. While society struggles to survive, he thrives, surrounded by cutting-edge technology, luxury suits, rare art, and custom-crafted jewelry. To him, these aren't just possessions, they're proof of his superiority. In a broken world, the Baron's empire is a monument to what power can still buy, if you're bold enough to take it. This guy is like from a worst anime character. He is cold, has no emotions towards anybody, and lacks empathy. He's obsessed with only science and doesn't see the virus as a disaster. Instead, he accepts it as part of his world and tries to use it for his own personal gains, experimenting on people and infected alike. On the official Techland website, he is described. He is a descendant of a witch who lived in Castor Woods ages ago. His family crest, which you can see in the trailer and you'll see in the game on his brooch and signet ring, represents Chur, the Slavic god of the sun and moon. For the Baron, this symbol is a reminder of his legacy and the authority he believes he was born to have. The demo showcased Kyle Crane's return, including an early mission set in a small village and woodland. Crane, guided by a new character named Olivia, navigates dense forests, faces dangerous nighttime enemies, and secures a safe house. The game's handcrafted environments, sound design, and Crane's evolving character left a strong impression. While the gameplay introduced new mechanics, including a rage mode, like in the Dead Island series had back then, during a boss fight, they expressed mixed feelings about Crane's darker, more serious persona. They are eager for the game's release, particularly excited about its environments and the possibility of third-person cutscenes. Now talking about the Park Hour system. In Dying Light, The Beast, the Park Hour remains at the heart of the series. Early reports suggest that the sequel's Park Hour system feels more grounded and fluid compared to its predecessor. Developer and the game designer, Timon Smektata, mentioned that the team aimed to make the game more accessible, yet challenging for seasoned players. With over 3,000 unique animations, the parkour system is twice as expansive as the original, offering a more immersive traversal experience. They also said, improving more powerful shooting mechanics, with weapons delivering a more impactful feel. The integration of parkour and combat allows for seamless transitions between movement and attack, creating a fluid and dynamic gameplay experience. They also mentioned on the new inventory system they're working on is more akin to the first game, offering a deeper level of customization. However, some players have noted that certain affixes, especially on higher difficulty levels, may not provide significant advantages, leading to discussions about balance and progression. Now here, in this part of the video, I want to talk about Kyle Crane's background a little bit. Crane's early life, he is originally from Chicago, Illinois, and he served in the United States Armed Forces and began working as a mercenary after his discharge from the Army. Later on, he was hired and trained by the GRE team to complete objectives in the city of Heron following the outbreak. Hence, the first Dying Light story starts from. At the same time in the first game, we can choose two different encounters with Mother, how the story ends. But considering this new game will have Kyle Crane back again, makes me think, at the end of Dying Light, the following, Kyle will either be fully infected or killed in a nuclear explosion. However, The nuclear ending can be considered non-canon, and the non-nuclear ending as canon to the events of Dying Light, the Beast. Now about Mother character. In the following DLC, she was an interesting sentient volatile character. She was very honest to the followers and upfront with the reality of the situation when giving Crane the option to nuke the place, with saving billions of people in the process. For me, she had not enough characterization to be a long-term as a villain to say the least. Her decision to kill the virus. One and for all to nuke the city was at most anyone would do in her position. But anyway, Crane becoming a volatile or detonating. The nuke doesn't really matter anymore. Leaks indicate that the game's map is densely packed with explorable buildings, moving away from the repetitive structures. Seen in Dying Light 2. This design choice promises a more immersive and varied environment, encouraging players to discover every corner of the city.
Dying Light, The Beast is not Dying Light 3, but it might be the game fans have actually been waiting for. A return to form, a darker tone, new gameplay mechanics, and most importantly, it's fixing what Dying Light 2 Stay Human messed up. This might be everything we know so far about Dying Light, The Beast, mechanics, map, lore, and why it might just be the redemption arc Techland needs, because it looks like Techland listened. The map looks more detailed, more vertical, and more dynamic. Different zones, weather, day-night tension, and everything feels handcrafted. If they pull this off, we might finally get that classic Dying Light feeling again. Sure, DL2 is still being supported, and the tower raid is still coming, but this could either save the series or be the final entry. Fingers crossed. As always, thanks for watching.